on his feet. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:04.
IndyCar is back at the Milwaukee Mile August 23rd and 24th. The Snap-on Milwaukee Mile 250 weekend features a high-stakes NTT IndyCar Series race, and the free fan zone will be buzzing with energy all weekend long. Don't miss out on the non-stop action. Get your tickets now for an electrifying IndyCar weekend at the Snap-on Milwaukee Mile 250, August 23rd and 24th at Wisconsin State Fair Park.
Are you worried about running out of money in retirement? Wondering about how to pay less taxes? Join me, Tony Drake, for the Retirement Ready Show live every Saturday at noon and Sunday at 7 a.m. on WTMJ 620 or 103.3 FM. We'll talk about smart strategies to help you retire with confidence. Don't miss it.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
You know, most mulch is reclaimed from landfills, but Erickson's mulch is ground from whole trees. Yep, we process the mulch ourselves to keep the prices nice and low and use only premium colorant so the beautiful look of new mulch lasts. At Erickson's, we never skimp, and that's why first-time shoppers become repeat customers. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection. How do we keep our prices so low? That's easy. We've removed the middlemen. Yep, most landscape suppliers have a couple of them in there, and that's okay. But each one of those men in the middle means a higher cost for your mulch, decorative stone, flagstone, and boulders. Feel free to check around. For the quality of our products, you won't find better prices. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all sports desk. Brewers snapping a 3-game skid as they beat the Cubs 4-1 this afternoon at Wrigley Field, and they wrap up the road trip. The crew now returning home, and they'll begin a 3-game series against the Giants tomorrow night. Green Bay Packers were on the practice field earlier today alongside the Seattle Seahawks. Both teams will be wrapping up the preseason this weekend. That will be a 3 o'clock kick Saturday afternoon at Lambeau Field. Take a look at the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. Really no incidents to report looking across the system, so should be a smooth drive for your Thursday night. And your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Still that flood warning in effect for the lower Fox River in Kenosha County. That is until Tuesday afternoon. Tonight, mainly clear, a low of 63. Friday, plenty of sunshine, a high of 80. Could maybe see a pop-up shower early Saturday, otherwise mostly sunny, a high of 78. Plenty of sunshine on Sunday with a high of 71. And then Monday, we could see some rain showers early, otherwise partly sunny skies and a high of 68. In Sheboygan, it's 69 degrees. Right now, 73 in Madison and 72 degrees in Milwaukee. I'm Neil Doyle, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:07.
On the field, inside the clubhouse, and everything in between. This is Brewers Weekly. Here's Dominic Cotroneo.
All right. Right out of Wrigley Field, we are ready to talk some more Brewers. Our de facto post-game show today as the Brewers take the finale. While the Cubs win the series, the Brewers still remain 7 games up with 34 to go. No more head-to-head matchups. Cubs take the tiebreaker, but the lead is 7, which is a really, really large number. We'll talk about that a little bit with Matt Arnold coming up in just a moment. Got 4 minutes or so with him right before today's game. You'll hear from him. We're also going to hear from Bryce Terang, Isaac Collins, a little bit of Murph and Trevor McGill, as well as the Brewers continue to play great baseball over this stretch. And a 4-4 road trip that, started with the longest winning streak in franchise history, ends with the series loss, but at the same time, the Brewers are very happy about some of the little things that they were able to do. So, small highlight segment, but there were some big ones today as the Brewers get the victory over the Cubs. 3 big plays in this one.
Ready for this?
Out of here!
This?
Brought it back!
And this?
It is gone!
Time for tonight's highlights.
Alrighty then. So Shota Imanaga going up against Quinn Priester, a Northside kid himself. But once again, just like yesterday, wind howling in, this time from right center field. So the home run would be at a premium, but just don't tell that to Bryce Terang as he came up in the second inning after a leadoff walk to Christian Yelich.
Pitch home. Fly ball to right. Tucker is back. Tucker's still back and gone. Bryce Terang, a 2-run home run to give the Brewers the lead.
Just listen to the back crack one more time. Just stay with me here. Listen to that back crack.
Fly ball into right center, a base hit. Fly ball.
That is loud. That is loud stuff from Bryce Terang, his 14th of the season. Another one off a lefty, mind you, and the Brewers would ride this as long as they could. Now, Quinn Priester ran into some danger in the fifth inning. His command was not right. You'll hear from him later on as well. His command ended up being 5 walks today. The Brewers as a staff walked 8 batters. That was not their MO today. But all that scored against the Brewers in the fifth, thanks to Nick Mears, was a sacrifice fly by PCA, but it's now a 1-run contest. The Cubs still waiting on their big hit, quote-unquote, whereas the Brewers hadn't had another opportunity other than that 2-run homer by Bryce Terang. Another big hit and opportunity came in the 8th inning. The Brewers forming a rally against Ryan Brazier and the Cubs. It's still only a 1-run game at this point, but the Brewers get a couple of men aboard, and the new dad, Isaac Collins.
Fly ball into right center, a base hit. That will score Monasterio. Frelick coming around third. He will score. Collins comes up in the clutch, and the Brewers lead it 4-1.
It got a little stressful in the bottom of the 8th inning. Abner Uribe had a couple of walks for himself, but thanks to a great defensive play by Andrew Vaughn, they would escape the 8th without allowing a run. Trevor McGill allowed the tying run to come to the plate, but it was no big deal in the end.
Ground ball left side. It'll be Durbin fielding, throwing on the run, one hop, and in time. Ball game over. 4-1. The Brewers finish off the Chicago Cubs.
All of that for the Cubs, all the smack talk, all the parading for those 3 wins to just gain 1 game in the standings. But hey, they won the series. They won a tiebreaker. You could tip your cap about that. But in the words of Craig Counsell, felt like they let one get away from them. The Brewers went just 1 for 2 with runners in scoring position. The Cubs were 0 for 8. That is the story of this contest. Brewers win 4-1. We'll talk about it coming up next with Bryce Terang here on 620 WTMJ.
Back with more Brewers Weekly after this.
Visit family-owned Ken Michaels Furniture and our in-store design centers where you'll still find beautiful, luxurious, heirloom-quality American-made furniture. Right now, save 30 to 35% store-wide and take advantage of our complimentary design services. Whether you're moving, renovating, or updating, our designers will help your vision become a reality. Visit Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield on Capitol Drive and in Greenfield on Highway 100 to save 30 to 35% store-wide today. Sleep better and save more with mattresses from Milwaukee Mattress and Ken Michaels Furniture. Handcrafted in our Milwaukee factory, our mattresses utilize natural materials like cotton cushioning, which dissipates body heat, Joma wool quilts for warm wintry nights and cool summer evenings, and natural latex providing superior conformability and pressure relief for aching joints. Stop in today at any Ken Michaels Furniture store and save up to 50% compared to national brands.
Protect your liver and give it the support it deserves with Active Liver from New Nordic. Find Active Liver in stores at your local CVS, Meijer Grocery, or online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com.
Brake issues, electrical issues, four-wheel drive issues, exhaust issues, and even my car just won't start issues.
You name it, we fixed it.
So the next time you're due for service, drive it on into Richlands and let our ASE certified technicians get you fixed up and safely back on the road.
Nothing warms my heart more than seeing our customers drive out of here with big old smiles on their faces. And all the credit goes to our staff, the most friendly, honest, hard-working, knowledgeable people in the business.
5 conveniently located facilities, all AAA approved.
And all staffed by ASE certified technicians, ready to provide you with top-notch service.
And after your vehicle's been serviced, drop us a Google review and let us know how we did.
Because a Google review from you goes a long way. I'm Brett Matchke with Richlands. You're due for service.
Richlands Tire and Service.
This is Brewers Weekly on WTMJ.
Bryce Terang now, Matt Arnold in a little bit, also Trevor McGill and Quinn Priester. Welcome in, Brewers Weekly, going until the top of the hour. I'm Dom Catronio. So, ain't no rest for the wicked. The Brewers going to keep on playing. 3-game homestand coming up this week against or I should say 7-game homestand against the West. It'll be the Giants and the Diamondbacks coming to town. Then a quick one and done to Toronto. Come right back. And then you get that odd series with the Phillies, including the off day in the middle of it, the day after Labor Day. So rest up, get your caffeine in you tomorrow, and get ready to cheer at the ballpark this weekend. Bryce Terang has had himself one heck of an August. If you're an MLB The Show player, you are fired up for his Player of the Month card that's about to come out. But including today, 19 games in August, a .366 batting average, 8 home runs, 6 doubles. He's also got an 1197 OPS. This dude is torching the baseball right now. His hard hit rate is over 50%, multiple, in fact, 10 batted balls of 105 or more this month. And we talked to Bryce Terang a little bit for Brewers warm-up the other day and talking to him after the big win on Monday in the opener of this series. He hit a home run in that game as well. He's not trying to hit for more homers. You'll hear him repeat that too. This was his post-game scrum earlier today up in Chicago.
I've always known I could hit the ball hard. I'm just catching them a little out in front and getting a little more underneath them, and they're going. I just feel like there's not much more of an answer because I'm not trying to hit homers. I'm just catching balls out in front and what we say, clipping them. You just catch the bottom of it. And, I've always known I could hit balls hard. It's just doing it consistently.
And at bat against Imanaga, obviously he's tough on righties, lefties. What are you looking for in that particular at bat?
Yeah, he went 2-0. Just kind of looking over the heart of the plate, and he threw me a fastball, and just try to square it up.
Given the offense the last couple nights had some bad luck and they just seemed to go over the wall, you guys felt like as an offense collectively you were doing a lot of good things and you finally were able to cash in today?
Yeah, we hit the ball hard the whole week. It's part of the game, part of baseball, and you just, you move on. It's part of the game. You can hit them hard. That's all you can control. The rest is out of your control, and that's just part of the game.
You guys have set such a standard lately. Like, if you lose 3 in a row, is there I don't know, that's not us kind of feeling. Like, let's have some urgency here. What's it like? Everybody loses 3 in a row, but what was it like these last couple days going into today?
I don't know. Obviously you don't want to lose, but we know what this team is capable of doing. There was no panic. There was just like when we win, we move on to the next day, because what happened yesterday and the day before that, it doesn't matter. It's about winning tonight or winning today and what we can control today. So, I don't know. Nobody really thought much of it. Obviously, you don't want to lose games, but you move on and you go out there and compete the next day. So, we're in a good spot. Team plays hard, and we want to win every game that we can. So,
Bryce, how do you keep that the same as you get down the stretch and you have this lead? Everybody's trying to chase you, and you guys have been so good as kind of these underdogs. How do you maintain that when you're in this good position?
The same as before. You just win each day, and they stack up. We'll forget about this day in the morning, and then we gotta play tomorrow. So, just like a loss, it's like a win. You forget about it, you move on, and you go for the next day, and you try to win that day. So, like I said, you can't control what happened yesterday. Even if you lost or won, you move on and you try to win that day. So they stack up when you do that.
One of the things you'll hear Pat Murphy talk about later on here in the program, and I asked him about Bryce's development against left-handed pitching. I think this is just such a significant just advancement from Bryce Terang is the fact that, this dude didn't have an extra base hit against a lefty his rookie year. He wasn't getting a lot of opportunities, to be fair, but he wasn't doing much with those opportunities either. He was learning how to be a big leaguer. Now, last year, we saw small steps, right? He hits, a couple of doubles. He starts to hit the ball a little bit harder, but still waiting on that first left-on-left homer. Then he gets a few of them today. Today was actually his third left-on-left homer of the season. His OPS is right around 670. When you're facing tough lefties as a left-hander, their stuff is really nasty to try to get you out as he continues to get a little bit better each step of the way. The defense is always going to be there, and I thought Bryce, for him to continue to hit hard against lefties, and this recent development of hard contact just makes you so excited because, again, every month it feels like somebody different has carried the Brewers. So, for instance, in April, even though the Brewers weren't winning many games, it was Rhys Hoskins. In May, you could argue the Brewers started to see a little bit more out of maybe guys that you didn't expect, perhaps like Sal Frelick was really good in May, but he wasn't hitting homers quite yet. But then furthermore, Isaac Collins started to grab hold and start to get really, really good. And then in June, Yelly got hot, Churio got hot at the same time. July, it's probably Isaac Collins. He was Rookie of the Month, mind you. And now in August, it is both William Contreras, and William really is the whole second half, and Bryce Terang to go with what the Brewers have been doing lately. So I think this is really exciting development for Bryce Terang, who's somebody that the Brewers developed themselves, and we talked about it in the post-game show yesterday of just that was the one positive of losing that game 4-3, that Bryce was not retired, reaching base all four times he came to the plate. Up next, again, I recorded this interview with Matt Arnold right before the game started. So there's a little bit of noise, a little bit of shouting going on because the stadium was cranking the PA at the time. But I just wanted to check in with Matt Arnold a little bit about, all right, reaction to the trade deadline, reaction to the 14-gamer, and just sort of what's around the corner here because this team is in really good shape and less so about injuries. We know Jackson Churio is starting his rehab tomorrow. Jake Bowers and Rhys Hoskins both homered yesterday in Nashville, by the way. But that stuff can come with updates as we go. But this is just more on a macro level of as things move on and you have the best record in baseball, how to react. So again, all this is recorded right before the game, not knowing the Brewers were going to, win. We joked about that at the very start. So keep that in mind as you listen to this interview on the other side of the break on your home of the Brewers, 620 WTMJ.
Catch more Brewers Weekly coming up on WTMJ.
It was always said about Milwaukee Brewer legend Jim Gantner that he played the game the right way.
God gave me the talent to play baseball, but it's up to me what I want to do with it.
It's just such an exciting partnership for us at Big Fish Contracting. I'm thinking there's a chance if you sign up with us, Jim Gantner may be dropping off a tube of caulk at your house.
Shingles, whatever.
See how Big Fish Contracting is renovating homes and redeeming an industry at bigfishcontracting.com.
My gut tells me that this summer heat's going to last, and that means your AC is going to be put through the paces. Now, we all know that AC can take a licking and keep on ticking, especially if it's an Armstrong. But when yours needs to be put out to pasture, call Quality. With over 70 vehicles on the road, we'll be there in a hurry. And with over 60 years of experience, how can you go wrong?
Call Quality for the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric. I don't have to tell you that a lot of dust and other junk collects in your ductwork. And it doesn't just sit there. It's blowing around in your home. And that jeopardizes your home health. The commercial industrial duct cleaning system we use at Quality darn near sucked the shirt right off our tech the first time he used it. Believe me, not everybody has this powerful of a system. It's unlike any other. At Quality, you get the best duct cleaning, period. So call Quality first for your duct cleaning needs.
For the signature service you deserve.
Hey, this is WTMJ's Steve Scavini for QC Kinetics. You ever wake up with that pain in your back or your elbow? In my case, it's my elbow, or your knee or your other joints. Well, how about doing something about it? I went to QC Kinetics. I talked to Dr. Ashley Caravelli and their team and scheduled my treatments, 5 treatments throughout the summer, to make me feel better, to use my own body to help restore and repair this damaged joint, in my case, the elbow, using natural therapies, no surgery, none of the pills, no masking of the injuries that are bothering you. You can even bring your own x-rays and MRIs to QC Kinetics for a free no-pressure chat, and you can find out if you're a good candidate. Worst case, you'll learn something new about yourself. Do what I did. Go to QC Kinetics. You will find out what is ailing you. You'll help your body heal itself. Here's the number, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. Don't wait. Call now. QC Kinetics.
It's Brewers Weekly on WTMJ.
Welcome back on Brewers Weekly. I'm Dom Catronio. Pleased to be joined by Matt Arnold. And, Matt, right before we watch this perfect game from Quinn Priester, we don't know the result of this game, obviously. So for fans listening here tonight on Brewers Weekly, we don't know the result. So I probably mentioned it before the game of this 20-0 record win or whatever that we're about to watch. But, reaction from this incredible month of August for you, Matt, for the club that you've put together, franchise record 14 wins. Just have you had a moment to say, holy cow, that really just happened?
No, certainly not at the point where we're reflecting in our season. I think it has been a great ride, and I'm certainly proud to be a part of it. But honestly, the big thing for us is it's never really looking backwards. It's always looking forward. We have to make sure we have to look around the corner for what's next, and working with our team to make sure that we have everything planned to the best of our abilities, to make sure that Murph has everything that he needs going forward. But no, we're not at the point where we're reflecting on much of anything. We're just trying to continue to win tonight, like our mantra has been for a long time.
You've heard from, I'm sure, a handful of executives and fellow staffers and maybe other teams have reached out to during this streak and during this month of August of just trying to get a little bit of info, trying to get well, how the heck did you do it? So, but at the end of the day, 14 games in a row doesn't grow on trees, but it's nice to see it's in there. What kind of reaction did you get around the league from this streak?
Yeah, certainly a lot of positive, but again, it's not something we want to revel in or anything like that. Again, it's a lot of it just has to do with us staying undaunted and making sure that we maintain a mentality about humility around, what we could be, what could happen, making sure that we're planning, again, for just whatever can happen to come next. But it's not like we're sitting here just saying, like, hey, this team is great, because we definitely believe that ourselves. But at the same time, we need to stay humble and make sure that we're putting out the best product we possibly can every single night.
So you mentioned what's coming around the corner. We'll get to that in a moment. But, just looking back at the trade deadline and some of the moves or lack thereof that we saw for some teams or some guys that we expected to get moved, and the Brewers acquire, obviously, Shelby Miller and Brandon Lockridge, and two pieces that are going to be very important for this club in this home stretch. What did you make of, now that looking back at that deadline, the prices, how other teams reacted, the fire sale in Minnesota, how it all just kind of happened in a 12-hour period?
Yeah, a lot of things happened at once there, and honestly, we did a lot of planning, frankly, before the trade deadline. That is one day, but certainly, making moves, whether it's guys like Andrew Vaughn or Quinn Priester, who's throwing today, we try to use, frankly, the whole season, as our trade deadlines, because we're always trying to make the team better. Certainly, we felt like we did with the additions of Lockridge and Miller, and just around the league, there were a lot of things that we were involved with. But again, coming out of that and winning as many games as we did, is something that we're certainly happy about.
As Chelsea Dagger plays here at Wrigley Field for Shota Imanaga, there's another song I'm sure a lot of Brewers fans don't want to hear again later today. But last one for you here, Matt. As you look ahead around that corner, no matter what happens in this game, as we'll know the result by the time fans listen to this. But what are the things that you're just excited about for this final 35 or so game stretch as the Brewers try to march into October once again?
Yeah, to be honest, I'm looking forward to a September where our fans are enjoying it just like we did at the end of last year. And obviously our season didn't end the way we wanted. And I think that leaves a little bit of a chip on our shoulder, frankly, to get to that next level, certainly. But when I think about what's important and what's next, I think it's about, ensuring that we're honoring the legacy of Bob Uecker. That's something I think about every single day. And then it's just getting back to that environment where I think about the home runs that Jake Bauers hit, Sal Frelick hit, and getting that kind of environment for our fans in Milwaukee is something I'm really looking forward to.
All right, appreciate the time. Right on cue. We're ready to watch some baseball and hopefully bring in another win back home to Milwaukee. Thanks, Matt.
Thanks, buddy.
Back with more after this on 620 WTMJ.
More More Brewers Weekly coming up on WTMJ.
Welcome to our Everyday Health feature, sponsored by the Freightert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network. Your blood vessels play a key role in keeping you healthy, also known as your vascular health. Unfortunately, problems with these vessels affect millions of Americans every year across all age groups. Here to tell us more about the importance of vascular health is Momodou Jama, a Freightert and the Medical College of Wisconsin vascular surgeon. Doctor, thank you so much for being here with us.
You're welcome.
Can you tell us about how vascular health impacts the entire body?
Your vascular system, the network of arteries, veins, and capillaries in your body, is essentially your transportation system for moving blood around your body. When these vessels are healthy, they efficiently deliver oxygen, nutrients, and immune cells to every organ and tissue. However, when vascular health is poor, it can affect nearly every part of your body.
And it does affect every part of your body. What are some common vascular diseases?
The most common vascular diseases include peripheral artery disease, which is the narrowing of the arteries due to plaque buildup, which can make it hard for blood to flow to the legs and feet. This often results in pain as well as difficulty with wound healing. Next is carotid artery stenosis, where plaque buildup inside the carotid artery and can break off and cause a stroke. An aortic aneurysm, which is a dangerous bulging of the body's main artery in the chest and abdomen that can burst if not treated. And finally, varicose veins, which are swollen and twisted veins, the ones you often see under your skin. When blood can't flow properly to your legs, brain, heart, or other organs, it can affect your entire body. That's why treating vascular disease in a timely fashion is important for your overall health.
Why should someone choose the Freightert and the Medical College of Wisconsin for their vascular services?
We have a team of specialists dedicated to treating vascular diseases, including vascular medicine specialists, vascular and cardiac surgeons, as well as interventional radiologists that provide care in eastern Wisconsin.
Dr. Jama, thank you for being with us today. For more information on vascular health, check out freightert.com/vascular.
Brewers Weekly on WTMJ.
Let's talk a little pitching now, shall we? Welcome back in. I'm Dom Catronio, 855-616-1620, the Siding Unlimited WTMJ talking text line, 855-616-1620. Text here from the 414. Great show. Appreciate you. Do you think with all these games coming up, there is a chance we will see some bullpen games or Ashby starting? I hope Robert Gasser figures in soon. Maybe Mizorowski in the bullpen. Just to think when Churio and Hoskins are back, woo, that's scary. Go Crew. 5-3 road trip isn't that bad. Well, it's 4-4 behind you. But the Brewers keep up the great work. So when it comes to the Mizorowski question, we talked about this at length with Craig Kashan last night on the postgame show. Brewers All Access, wherever you get your podcasts, also on YouTube as well. You can hear our conversation, particularly about Miz. I just don't see a reason to put him in the bullpen right now. They want to there's a fine line where the Brewers want to get as many innings out of him as possible while also not pushing him too hard and saving some innings for October. I do foresee suddenly an opportunity for Robert Gasser. Now, there are different rehab rules for big league, 40-man guys coming back from Tommy John surgery. Traditionally, like if you're going down to the minor league rehab assignment, like for instance, say Brandon Woodruff's rehab assignment, it was 30 days. Or for a standard, rehab assignment on a pitcher, it's 30 days. But because you're coming back from Tommy John surgery, you get a longer period of time. So the Brewers aren't necessarily in a rush to bring Robert Gasser back, but him already being at 4 innings of length, which what we saw in his last rehab start with the Nashville Sounds, I believe that was on Tuesday night, he's suddenly a candidate to make a spot start down the stretch. Now, we talk about this long stretch that the Brewers are in the 19 games in 18 days, and they still got, another 10 days straight of this tough stretch. But once they get past it, man, the off days come really easy down the stretch for those final few games. So they'll then play a total of 8 in a row between the off day on Tuesday the 2nd and on the 11th. Then they'll play 3 at home off day. Well, they fly home against the Rangers on that Wednesday afternoon, home off day on the 11th, and then 3 home games against the St. Louis Cardinals, another off day, and then they will go home. They will host the Los Angeles Angels. So that's a good little stretch there where the Brewers are going to get a lot of time at home to recharge and get everything going in the right direction. They are listing TBA for Sunday against the Giants. I wonder if that has something to do with trying to give Miz an extra couple of days, if they want to fit in Woodruff an extra couple of days, because the Brewers are, in a spot where they want to make sure they keep these arms as healthy as possible heading into October. Because, this week really confirmed it once again that, look, they're 7 games up. They're going to be playing in October. So now you got to start thinking about your innings. How many do you have left? What can you get going to make sure that you don't overwork these guys? You want to chase the 1 seed, but all of this is a balancing act and something to catch up with Matt Arnold maybe in September about how they do it. On the pitching front, though, the story today is less about Quinn Priester, but more about the bullpen. And he had some glowing remarks to say about the bullpen behind him because he exits with the bases loaded in the 5th inning in a 2-run game. And that is a recipe for disaster, mind you, with nobody out. And Nick Mears comes in, or with 1 out, I beg your pardon, with 1 out. And Nick Mears comes in, gets a first pitch sac fly, and then another fly out. Quite frankly, you take that all day long. You didn't give up the lead. In fact, you stayed in front. You would have been fine with them tying it, quite frankly, there, as long as you didn't lose the lead. And Nick Mears was awesome, and Quinn Priester was super happy about it.
Yeah, it was incredible. From the situation I put Mears in, certainly not one I want to put my teammates in, but, knowing him, he kind of thrives in those situations, and to come away with just, 1 and able to hold it there the rest of the game. Granted a great job. Uribe, Koenig, everybody down the stretch did a really nice job outside of, me getting the bases loaded there in the 5th. But it's a team game. Certainly a lot of things to clean up on my end. But when you have guys like that behind you, you keep, even if guys are on base, you keep, runs off the board, we've got a chance.
Quinn, what I saw from his stuff today, sometimes his slider was a little too nasty, where it was breaking a lot bigger than I think he was anticipating and breaking below the zone, and he wasn't able to command it like he wanted to. And furthermore, he didn't throw as many curveballs as I maybe expected given all the lefties that were in the order today. The sinker was missing big, though. That was the pitch that he did not really have any command of. He got a couple key swings and misses on cutters, but the slider had been such a reliable pitch for him on and off the last month or so. Today, there were some good ones, but there was also some really big ones that you could see out of the hand very easily. Now, the man that got the final 3 outs got his 30th save of the year. Trevor McGill caught up with the media today as well.
Trevor, just first the job that the guys did in front of you, starting with Nick, bases loaded, that's a tough spot, and how that kind of put the wheels in motion for the rest of you.
Coming in, bases loaded, 1 out, give a sac fly and a bleep punch out after that. Keep it out of 1 spot, keep us in the lead. That's huge. That's the role he's been playing all year, is kind of that fireman, bridge guy. And he came into his job exactly how he should. And that just kicked off, another 5 innings of good baseball with the bullpen. So proud of them there, proud of the rest of the guys.
Trevor, this is certainly the stage where every game is important. But can you give us a sense coming in this morning of how important this game is?
Yeah, whenever you're kind of down on these series, and especially in division where each game's a game on the standings, to battle back and get 2 there, and just keep the swing at 1. Huge momentum shift for the clubhouse. I think everybody around here feels that too. Getting that last one today is just super big.
Trevor, obviously the win is the biggest thing, but a nice round number for you now, 30 saves. What does that mean to you? You think of that number, hear that number?
I don't know, man. I just thought of it. When you mentioned it to me now, got a lot more to go and some playoff ones as well to get to. But first time hitting 30 in my career, it feels good. But ultimately it comes down to just getting outs and helping this team win, and we're just gonna keep doing that.
Trevor McGill is somebody that is just, again, dominant at times. That curveball, the at-bat to Michael Busch, frame it. That was hammer, hammer, hammer. I dare you to hit it, hammer. And you got to respect 100 while seeing another hammer, another one. So it was a Breakfast Club detention. So that's a detention. But it was really cool to talk to Trevor. 30 saves, that's not a small number. And there's 34 games to go. I hope the Brewers don't have a ton of save opportunities. Hopefully they win some games in casual form. But let's say, if they can go 500 the rest of the way, that's 17 more wins. Is he going to get 10 more saves out of those 17 wins? Perhaps. 40 saves, man, that would be really impressive for Trevor McGill being the full-time closer. The Brewers get the win. They're vibing high. We'll hear from Isaac Collins coming up next. He had some key insurance, first hit as a dad, as Isaac is a nickname from Pat Murphy, Moon. Huh. I'll let you guys figure that one out. I don't know. Anyway, Brewers win today over the Cubs, 4-1. We'll talk to Isaac Collins next on 620 WTMJ.
Back with more Brewers Weekly after this.
Your first date? Going well. The carnival? Cash only. But you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you, with access to over 30,000 surcharge-free ATMs. So when you decide to win that giant stuffed purple raccoon at $5 a throw, we're looking out for you. No matter how many throws it takes. You've got this. With 30,000 surcharge-free ATMs from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
When people think sleep apnea, they think CPAP. Now at Advent, we do all we can to help sleep apnea sufferers avoid the CPAP machine. And most sleep apnea sufferers who come to Advent are going to be able to avoid a CPAP altogether. Our unique Advent approach using simple in-office solutions can get your nose working and throat open all under one roof. You see, the root of every snoring and obstructive sleep apnea problem lies within the throat, nose, or both. At Advent, we know when we get the nose and throat working properly, most snoring and sleep apnea problems will subside. And we have the most simple and convenient, ultra-effective in-office solutions that can do just that. And this is why people have traveled by planes, trains, and automobiles from corners of the world you would never think of to find the sleep apnea and snoring relief you won't find elsewhere.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Most insurance accepted.
With over 57 years of experience, family-owned Yutka Fence installs high-quality fencing with residential options, including vinyl, wood, aluminum, chain link, and ornamental fences. Committed to craftsmanship and customer service, Yutka Fence doesn't just build fences, they build relationships based on care, trust, precision, and protecting what matters most. Mention you're a WTMJ fan for 10% off your project. Schedule your free estimate today at yutkafence.com or call 262-859-3226.
Churio with a two-run blast. That's the sound of August Brewers baseball in Milwaukee. Make the most of every remaining summer game day and get your seats at brewers.com/tickets.
Welcome back to Ask Hasselus.
I believe in aliens, ghosts, and UFOs, but I don't believe you.
Huh?
I'm convinced the Earth is flat and the moon landing was faked.
Okay.
But when you say Hasselus Mattress don't have no employees, well, that's just crazy talk.
It's true. Hasselus Mattress showrooms are employee-free. Give our mattresses a try with no pushy sales guy.
Okay, sure. You probably think birds are real, too.
All I know is that our 35 beds from the top 5 brands start at $393. Free next-day delivery, too.
Do these mattresses come from Area 51?
We're talking big names like Sealy Posturepedic and Beautyrest.
And who's supporting your operation? The Illuminati?
If you need support, through Monday, get a free adjustable base with any new mattress.
That's what the lizard people told you to say.
Save on Beautyrest, Sealy Posturepedic, and more. And get a free adjustable base through Monday at Hasselus Mattress. Open 9 to 9. Find an employee-free showroom near you at hasselus.com.
This is Brewers Weekly on WTMJ.
Let's talk a little bit about Isaac Collins and the Brewers offense. They were hitting the ball hard all week long, and you heard Bryce Terang talk about that earlier, just that it's one of the only things you can control as a hitter. If I hit the ball hard, if I hit the ball quality contact, generally good things are going to happen. Now, that didn't happen in the previous 3 games until today, and even with the wind blowing in, you know, you saw how Bryce kind of posed on it, then realized, oh no, the wind's blowing. I got to run. Okay, it's gone. Like, there's a lot that can go into it. 108 off the bat for Bryce was huge. Isaac Collins, 102 off the bat to right center field to score 2 runs in that situation. And for him, he had been on a little bit on the schneid. He had a couple of walks in these few games since coming off the paternity list. And congratulations to him and Isabella, their son Carter. And, well, he's finally got a knock and an RBI as a dad. He caught up with the media earlier.
Yeah, that one really felt good. The results weren't really showing up last few days, so they come through in that moment right there and just execute my approach and have a good result. Felt really good.
Your
How's your
focus,
back?
obviously.
Sorry, is the back, like, do you feel like you're back to normal?
Yeah. It was just a little sore the first day back. No problem there. Feel normal.
I was just going to ask you, your focus has obviously got to be on the team in the moment here, but with wife and son at home, is it hard at all? And like, you find your thoughts kind of creep into them every once in a while, even when you're on the field or whatever?
Yeah, obviously, they're always on my mind. But like when you step in the box, you go on autopilot. But yeah, I mean, obviously it's a little tough with them being at home and I'm out here, but I'm not the only one here making sacrifices. There's plenty of guys in here that are sacrificing, a lot of their time for their families and being away from their families. So, it's all worth it, really.
You had a couple moments here, the homer last time we were here, and then obviously today. Is there juice? Is there starting to feel more comfortable of just being an everyday big leaguer right now?
Yeah, definitely. Just trusting my ability and knowing that the best version of myself up here plays. So that's really all I try to do each day is just be the best version of myself every single pitch and try to execute the game.
Isaac, we've asked you about your story, scratching and clawing to get here. The team, so many guys have done that.
Mm-hmm.
How does it change, if at all, now that you guys have this lead? It's coming down the stretch. Everybody's going to try to catch you. How do you keep that scratch and claw mentality?
For sure. It's just what got us here, and that's, like you said, that scratch and claw mentality and just staying true to ourselves. That's the biggest thing. I feel like sometimes when success comes your way, you kind of forget what got you there. And so I think down the stretch here, it's going to be huge for us to just continue to take it one day at a time and just try to be the best version of ourselves every day and just, knowing our role and executing. So, and that's obviously it's tough after 120 games being able to do that, but I think we got the right group of guys to do it.
It's kind of, I'm sure, what you dreamt about is a pennant race in the major leagues.
Yeah, this is exactly what you dream of, and I'm so grateful to be a part of this team and be a part of, like you said, that pennant race, and just blessed.
Isaac Collins really getting back on track, getting back on the horse. A couple of notes and nuggets here about the Brewers and in this series against the Cubs. And we talked so much about doing the right thing and getting the big hit and that sort of thing. I mean, the Brewers this week, they hit .314 with runners in scoring position, but it doesn't tell you the whole story because 11 for 35 sounds really good and dandy. 0 extra base hits, but when there were runners in scoring position, the Brewers had 7 walks and 8 strikeouts and even a hit batter. And yes, they grounded into 2 double plays that were in poor timing in one of the games of the doubleheader on Tuesday. You know what the Cubs were this week? Despite winning 3 games, the Cubs, they hit 172 with runners in scoring position. 5 for 29. Now, they drew a lot of walks, most of them coming today. 6 walks, 8 strikeouts. But of those 5 hits, 2 of them were the big, the double by Michael Busch yesterday off Miz and the home run by Willie Castro in game 1 of the doubleheader on Tuesday against Chad Patrick. Those are their only extra base hits with runners in scoring position. So the Brewers put themselves in a lot of great positions and could not get the job done. But nonetheless, they still lead by 7 games. So to put a kind of a bow on this series and what it means for the Brewers, what it means for the Cubs and that sort of thing, I know a lot of folks are panicking about how many sub-500 teams the Cubs are going to be facing coming up for the next month or so. I thought Pat Murphy put it great earlier today, that no one cares about winning percentage this time of year. Honestly, the last thing you want to do is face a team that maybe you're quote-unquote supposed to beat because, what else has that team got to play for? There is something freeing and something sort of, scary about facing a team with nothing to lose. And the Brewers, they still will have their fair share of teams that are less to their standard, like the Giants coming up this week. And the Diamondbacks are a hard team to figure out right now, but they're certainly missing the playoffs. And then you look at a team like the St. Louis Cardinals. They would love to beat up on you in your division rivals. You still got 6 more with those guys. Or even the Angels. The Angels have kind of come back down to earth. The Rangers have come back down to earth. the Brewers still have those matchups waiting later on in the year. And then the big thing for the Cubs right now, though, too, is they still have a couple of very key matchups as far as playoff standing and wild card standing go with, for both of these teams. Today was game number 128. So, when it comes to the biggest series that they have remaining, that final 9 days is going to be really interesting for Chicago. They go to 4 for Cincinnati, home for 3 against the Mets, home for 3 against the Cardinals. Now, of course, the Cardinals will be out of it, but if the Cardinals can have a say in something to knock the Cardinals or into the Cubs in something a little more awkward or a tougher spot, they will get the chance. So bear with me. The Braves are playing pretty well right now, and they've still got 6 more head-to-head with the Braves, and you can't take anyone for granted. Look at what the Rockies just did to the Dodgers. So they've still got a series with the Rockies. And a reminder, with a 7-game lead, the Brewers can go 500. Okay, if they go 500 over these final 34 games, that would require the Cubs to be 24-10. And that's, the minimum. That's if the Brewers are a 500 team from now to the end of the year. I don't think that's going to happen. I hope that's not going to happen. But let's say they win 20 games, right? Instead of 17, they win 20. They go 20-14. That's a 100-win season. That's never happened before here. That's nuts. First team to 80 wins. Get to a couple last-second texts. Talk a little bit about Willie Adames coming up on the other side of the break. Right here on your home of the Brewers, 620 WTMJ.
Catch more Brewers Weekly coming up on WTMJ.
I'm Pat Dunphy of Cannon and Dunphy. Every team's goals at the start of the Major League Baseball season are to get to the World Series. But only the best teams achieve those goals. They do it with a combination of talent, experience, and a dedication to winning. Like a Major League Baseball team, Cannon and Dunphy's law firm has its goals. That's to win for its clients. And we've been doing it for 40 years with a combination of talent, experience, and a dedication to winning. So if you're hurt in an accident and you need help, call Cannon and Dunphy.
Well, if you need flagstone for your new natural patio, Erickson's is the place to find it. We have the largest selection and 15 styles to choose from. And for decorative stone, Erickson's is your best choice. Our decorative stone is trucked in from all over the country. We buy straight from the quarry and cut out the middleman to keep your prices nice and low. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection. So he said to me, "Boy, oh boy, do you got the boulders." And I said, "You betcha." And he said, "Do you mind if I cherry pick?" And I said, "Feel free. They're all beautiful and they're all granite. Sparkling pinks, blues, and grays from 4 to 36 inches. And they're all priced right because we buy direct from the source nationwide to give you the look you want. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection.
With all the positive Google reviews continuing to pour in for Rich Lawn's Tire and Service Centers, we want you to know we appreciate you.
You were due for service, we delivered, and then you went the extra mile and wrote a few kind words about the service you experienced.
Yeah, thank you so much. Michael, Glenn, Jeff, Lisa, Carol, Jason, John,
Wait,
Michelle,
hang on a
Ryan.
second, Dad. As fun as it may be to name every single person who's ever left us a Google review, there just isn't enough time. We get 60 seconds, and I'd say we've got about 28 left.
Ah, good point, Courtney.
Listen, we appreciate every last one of you for helping us maintain a nearly 5-star Google rating. And we're going to keep on shooting for the stars, especially when it comes to providing top-notch auto repair service.
Yep, and remember, be safe, buckle up, and hey, always make sure you've got good tread on your tires. Peter, Bruce, Samantha, Kimberly, Nick, Heather,
Oh,
Marissa,
Dad.
George, Jeremy, Diane, Brad, Paul.
Rich Lawns.
It's Brewers Weekly on WTMJ.
Last few moments of the show here. I'm Dom Catronio. Also, real quick, big thank you to Big Fish Contracting and Cannon and Dunphy, our presenting sponsors of our coverage down at Wrigley Field. It was really fun to get on the grind and go to both dugouts, go catch up with Craig Counsell, catch up with Q Berry, and hear from our guys. I think we did a great job with Brewers warm-up. You heard, of course, Pat Dunphy on one of those Brewers warm-ups over the weekend. You heard from Danny Jansen. We had plenty of Pat Murphy audio, plenty of Bryce Terang audio. We had Christian Yelich for the post-game show yesterday. So that's kind of the goal. And if you liked it, let us know. Hit the text line, and we made a ton of appearances on our sister stations between ESPN Madison and ESPN Milwaukee. Some folks texting me about the Wilde and Tausch interviews. There's like, whoa, you got Packers guys talk about the Brewers. Yeah, we did. Heck yeah, we did. So that's what happens when you have the best record in baseball. Question here from Nick. Should Miz starts down the stretch have an opener or later, like September? I don't know. I think that's a good idea to encounter, to maybe prepare him for what his role could be in the playoffs. But at the same time, what if, I was having this conversation with somebody near the organization yesterday where it's like, you can react to that third inning by Miz being like, oh my gosh, he lost the strike zone. Well, he went 4 innings in the game. He faced, 16 batters? He lost the strike zone for 4 of them, and now it was pretty big when he lost it. Otherwise, he was pretty dominant otherwise. So I kind of look at it again, glass half full. It wasn't good enough, I know. I agree entirely with a lot of folks thinking like that. You can't have heart palpitations like that in the playoffs. But don't lose sight of that. The rest of that game was really dominant stuff from Miz, and maybe he needs to live 97-98 and have more command. But I don't think he needs to have the opener route in front of him yet. I think the best way to attack is to go through, and he's said it all along. I'm so glad I'm doing this in the big leagues because there's nothing left for me to learn in AAA. Like, the stuff that I learned that works in AAA doesn't work in the big leagues, so I need to make sure I get it right here in this show. Good question, though, there as well. All right, this weekend, obviously there's a lot going on this weekend. First and foremost, Bob Uecker Celebration of Life on Sunday. There is so much coming at you on Sunday. You are going to love it. And if you're planning on coming to the game on Sunday, be early. I'm serious about this one, guys. Be early. You got to be in your seat by 12:15. Just be in your seat by noon. Right? They're going to open things up earlier for you. It's going to be okay, but you're going to want to be there early to see everything that we have to offer from Bob Costas, from Brian Anderson, from all the people that wanted to make this a special tribute to the one, the only Bob Uecker. There's also going to be the jersey patch available once again for purchase to add to your jerseys already. Remember, that has to be a jersey that you bought there at the ballpark or an already authentic jersey. None of your DH gates. Don't come at me with those fake overseas jerseys. You can put the Uecker patch on a real jersey, and your purchase of the patch goes toward Uke's favorite charities. And the other thing, too, on Saturday, John Axford is being added to the Wall of Honor. So congratulations to the Axeman. He's going to be out there, going to be celebrating him. We'll hear from Axe on the pregame show on Saturday, too, but that will be a fun day. He will be throwing out the first pitch before the contest, too. And then, of course, Friday. Friday's the day that a lot of Brewers fans have had circled for a while. Once Willy Adames signed his contract with the San Francisco Giants. I'm not going to tell you how to fan, but I'm going to tell you how to be a human. You should cheer and shout and scream and clap and do everything in support of Willy Adames, because I promise you, he loved every second of being in Milwaukee. And I know he's looking forward to this. I know the Giants haven't had the season that they wanted to have, and there have been some injuries in that, and even Willie hasn't had the season that he wanted to have. But for what he did for this community, for this team, and the energy he brought every single day, there are still a lot of people that love him in this clubhouse, and it's not a situation of he left the Brewers. And look, man, he got offered a lot more money. I think a lot of people were expecting this offseason to be offered to him, and he went and got it. Congratulations to him, and he hopes to be on the next playoff team for the San Francisco Giants. It's not going to be this year's team, but he deserves all your love coming up in this series this weekend. Give him a big standing ovation. I think that would just be so cool. Make him tip his cap. Make him call time. Make him take a moment, because the best years of his career were here in Milwaukee. He knows that. You know that. And I think the Brewers fans will know to celebrate that for him once he comes back. And it should be sold out all weekend long. I mean, keep the good times going. The Brewers still have another streak going, mind you. Yes, the 14 in a row is over, but they've got a home winning streak going. Right, they sweep the homestand 6 games in a row against the Mets and the Pirates. They had lost the finale against the Cubs back in July, but right now they're on a 6-game home winning streak. They will try to keep that up coming up this week. So, 7:10 first pitch tomorrow night. We're on the air at 6 with Brewers warm-up. Saturday is back to the 6:10 starts. We're on the air at 5. And then on Sunday, 1:10, we're on the air at noon. And then the Diamondbacks come to town Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. 4-game set with the Snakes. Our producer has been Brian Kelly. I'm Dom Catronio. Keep on swinging.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a good